guys, I'm here in Palm Desert, California, where we're at the Steve Garvey Summer Classic for Super Series Baseball. I had the chance to talk with the baseball legend himself, finding out all about his career and what it's like to be a dad watching his son get into the big leagues himself. Steve, thank you so much for being with us here on the Kids Sports News Network today. Now, when people hear the name Steve Garvey, they think baseball legend. Did you always know that your career would be headed in that direction?
Oh gosh, you know, when you're starting out as an 8-year-old boy in Tampa, Florida, and the second Little League ever started there, you have no idea. You know that God's given you a certain amount of ability and you practice and work hard. I was an only child. But you never know where destiny will lead you. Just hard work and dedication are a good start.
When you look back on your time as a young player, what factors do you think were most critical towards propelling you into the pros?
Well, first of all, it was the middle of March of 1956, and my dad, who was a Greyhound bus driver, came home for dinner, and he said, "Do you have any tests tomorrow?" It was on a Thursday. I said, "No, why?" He said, "Want to skip school tomorrow?" I said, "Wow, what are we going to do?" Well, he had a charter to pick up the Brooklyn Dodgers from the Tampa airport and take them to St. Pete to play the New York Yankees in an exhibition game. And the next day was the beginning of my dreams. I was a bat boy for the Brooklyn Dodgers and picked up the bats of Pee Wee Reese and Gil Hodges and Jackie Robinson, and got a couple of broken bats that day and an autograph ball, and went home and spent an hour telling my mom, and then went to bed and dreamed about being a Dodger. 12 years later, out of Michigan State, I was drafted in the first round by LA.
And did you have any baseball heroes when you were growing up?
Oh, absolutely. You know, you look back now, Gil Hodges and Pee Wee Reese when I was, little. You look at basketball players like Bob Cousy, football players like, Y.A. Tittle, Jim Brown, guys from each sport, Bobby Hull, I remember him. You try to pick guys that play the game the right way, that are good sportsmen, play hard, play fair, and never give up.
And you became a hero yourself. Were you aware of the impact you were having at the time?
Well, I think as time goes on, you realize that when you play in front of, like in LA, 40,000 people a night, and you do good things or things the right way, that you're going to influence people, and especially the youth.
And your son is becoming a great baseball player himself, as we saw today. What's it like as a dad watching him come into the game?
Well, it's fun to watch him. We had 4 daughters before we had Ryan. We call him the Immaculate Son because we finally had him. It's a joke. And it's just fun to watch him progress. He really loves the game.
Do you see a lot of similarities between your son and how you were at that age?
Oh, he's going to be stronger and taller and better looking, and hopefully he'll have just the same passion. That's all I can ask for.
What do you most want to pass along to your son and others that age?
Well, I think that you can control your own destiny, and that's by hard work, by commitment, by dedication, and by assuming responsibility. When you strike out with the bases loaded, you did it. You make an error, you did it, and move on. Don't try to cover it up. Don't say this happened, that happened, I lost it in the sun. Sand got out of my eye when the pitch was coming. Just we take responsibility for what we do, and we correct our mistakes and go on. I think that's the key.
That was baseball legend Steve Garvey. Steve, thank you so much for taking the time with Kids Sports News Network.